My name's Richard Lewis, and I'm the CEO of Interchange Consort Hotels, which comprises two businesses, Best Western Hotels and Beacon Purchasing. Started as a Deputy General Manager of a small hotel in London, and then moved on to the Savoy Hotel Group, where I was a trainee manager for 4 years, working in all departments. So I was a chef at Claridge's for a year, and then went upstairs, I was a waiter. So I introduced Fred Astaire to Glenda Jackson in the main restaurant, which was quite something, and served kings and queens, and then moved on to the Berkeley Hotel and then back to the Savoy. Basically, as I mentioned, we have two businesses, Best Western, which comprises 281 hotels in Great Britain, but as a brand, it is the largest hotel brand in the world, bar none, so as a single brand. So we're not the largest hotel company, but as a brand, we have over 4,100 hotels and 315,000 rooms. So on the Best Western side in Great Britain, where we're an affiliate of the main office in Phoenix, Arizona, we have 281 hotels and about just under 16,000 rooms. Beacon Purchasing, where we have 1,565 customers, and they range from the hospitality industry to healthcare to leisure. So we work with golf courses and bowling alleys and marinas and yacht clubs, and they buy through us. So we actually have about 49 other hotels that buy through us. And the whole purpose of ICH is that we're a retained profit organisation. So we actually, the monies that come into the company from both Beacon and Best Western are all then ploughed back into the marketing and the development of the Best Western brand. I'm focusing on three very key areas of business. The first one is people, because as a predominantly sales and marketing organisation where our members expect us to drive revenue to their properties, the first one is that we have to have real talent, and we're building a fantastic team within our offices in York. We've put a culture into the business, and that is bottom up. So my idea was put in the culture, but it's the team that actually decided what that culture was, and it was already inherent in the business. So we focus on 5 key cultural values. The first one is think big, start small, act now. The second is put a smile on someone's face every day. The third one is make magic happen by living outside your comfort zone. The fourth one is take joy in helping people and places to be better than you found them. And the last one is live life, challenge the boundaries and share the stories. So people without a doubt, and we recruit through that culture. So the people that we actually bring into the business, they're talented, but they also have to fit within that culture. And the team that we're building is really impressive in York. That's the first one, people without a doubt. The other 2 areas are communications, and that's internal and external to all our publics. And the third one, naturally, is technology. So putting technology into our systems within the organisation, but also to enable guests and bookers to actually find our hotels and then make the reservation. Well, obviously we've got a number of customers. If you look at Best Western firstly, we have our customer, which is the member hotel. So all of the hotels are, in our view, our customers. They obviously have their own customers, which are their guests. Now, at many times we interact with those guests, whether it's through Best Western Rewards, and we have over 15 million Best Western Reward members around the world, or whether it be coming onto our website, into our call centre, which is an award-winning call centre. We've just been voted the top call centre in the travel sector for the 2nd year running out of every company in this country, and actually the 2nd best call centre in Great Britain across all vertical markets. So we're very proud of the call centre, and we're actually seeing our number of reservations through the call centre go up, which is actually against the trend, because a lot of other organisations are seeing more and more of their reservations come through the electronic distribution systems. So the customers that we have, the members, are definitely seeing that the business is picking up. The guests themselves, I think, are now booking further in advance, so that means that they're more confident that they're going to have the disposable income when their holiday or their stay away comes. Certainly on the leisure side, we're seeing a lot more venue reservations, so business is definitely picking up. On the Beacon side, again, we're seeing real interest in purchasing because it's hard enough to get that pound through the door in the first place. And what every single company is trying to do right now is actually take as much as possible of that pound down to the bottom line. And that's something that Beacon can definitely help organisations do. I think there are two overriding trends in the market. The first one is mobile, and I think mobile today is as exciting as the internet was about 10, 12, 15 years ago. I think at the beginning of the internet, if you'd had 20 hoteliers sitting in a room trying to invent something that would be perfect for our industry, it would actually be the internet. There is something that we've always struggled with, and that is that we were never able to showcase our hotel before you actually arrived at the hotel. So if you were going to the Maldives, for example, you booked the hotel, and then your moment of truth is when you walk through that door. Whereas in most other categories, most other products, you can actually see the product on the shelf, pick it up, look at it, feel it, decide whether you like it, talk to somebody about it, and then you purchase it. In the hospitality industry, you actually have to go to the hotel, and that's your first moment of truth. With the internet, obviously with images, moving images, video, you're now able to virtually get into a room, open the doors of the room, look at your view, hear everything. The only thing you can't do at this present time is actually smell the beautiful sea air, etc. So I think that the internet is something that is fantastic and it's just brilliant for the industry. What has happened, however, within that is that you've had a number of players come into the industry stripping margin out of the business, and that has been damaging. The next trend that I see, without a doubt, is the online travel agencies. They are growing in power, but actually do they add any value to our business? They are stripping out between 18 and 25, maybe 30% before the guest even walks through the door. Do they add any value? They send the hotel a guest, but the guest would have found that hotel anyway. What are they doing? For example, most hotels will have training programs, they'll have quality assurance programs, they will really help the hotels with revenue management, they will give them advice, they will operate the hotels, manage the hotels, and they are charging the owner a lot less than the OTAs are, who add no value at all other than sending a guest. And that has to change. I can refer to my previous comment about how do we actually reduce the cost of running our properties, because we have to reinvest. We have to reinvest in the product. And if you're getting a large proportion of your income leaving before you've even seen the guest, then something has to change, because we have to continually move the product forward. Social media is now giving a guest an expectation, and the goal for the hotelier is to make sure that we exceed those guests' expectations. But the expectations are being raised every single day. They can see how the hotel looks, they can see how people have loved the stay. So instead of going almost blind, they now go with full knowledge of what to expect. And that often leads to disappointment if the hotel doesn't live up to and exceed what it is that the guest is expecting. So there's a real challenge within the industry. And just last week I was in Prague, and all the delegates were from Central Eastern Europe and the Commonwealth of Independent States. And I said it's about time the hotel industry fought back against the OTAs. And I got a round of applause in Prague. There is something happening at the moment within the industry where we are determined that we need to take control of our inventory. After all, you cannot stay on an internet website. You have to stay in a hotel. And it's up to the hotels to ensure that they create the loyalty within the customer and the guest database. I think that the industry has never really been as good as it could be on technology. Many years ago, I wrote an article in the Caterer and Hotel Keeper about how the industry, the hospitality industry, has always followed the airline industry. And I think we're getting a lot better. I think we're getting some really smart people into hospitality in general. And I think it's about time that we understood how technology can really help to enhance a traveller's experience. So there's a lot of statistics around, and I don't want to quote statistics, but a lot of people today, I think it's over 80% of travellers have a smartphone. And many of them believe that utilization of some form of mobile device enhances their travel, but only 5% of those people actually use that mobile device to gain some access to information which will enhance their travel. We're on the cusp of the real revolution in travel experience through mobile. So what is absolutely important right now, but certainly in the future, is relevancy and location. So mobile devices are obviously GPS empowered. Everybody knows where you are right now, where I am right now, and it's about how marketers use that information to reach travelers. But it is absolutely clear that the most important thing is that the traveler has control. So the traveller has to say when and where they would like to be contacted. So it's not about pushing information out whenever the marketer wants to push that information out. It's about when the traveller wants to pull that information through. And that isn't happening yet, but it will do. And therefore we have to be very careful as marketers to balance the marketing that we wish to deliver to those travellers and respectful of their privacy at the same time. And that's the balance that we've got to get right. Probably one of the things I'm most proud of is that I've been very flexible in my career. And at one point, not taking a typical career path I thought would be dangerous. But actually, at this point in time, having a very diverse background is absolutely essential in today's incredibly fast-moving, dynamic business world. So having been in the hotel industry, I've worked 13 years in international markets. I worked in Libya, ran an oil camp for 1,000 men, opened hotels and restaurants in Cairo. I've worked in the United Arab Emirates, in Jordan. So that really has sort of given me an understanding of cultures, of different ways of thinking. And when I came back from Abu Dhabi, having opened a hotel there and worked at the Westbury Hotel and then went into Forte, I then moved from there to CNN. And that was like, why have you called me? I'm a hotelier. And went for the interview, and it was the biggest change in my career, actually, to move from the true hospitality industry into something on the periphery of the hospitality world. So I think that was something that I'm quite proud about, that actually I push down barriers and make sure that I see opportunity. So then going back into the hospitality industry again and helping World Res, which was a booking engine, to change the way that people book travel. I was right at the beginning of the internet boom, around about 1999, and that I thought was just a fantastic time. No one knew what they were doing. There was no rules. You could go and talk to somebody and you had to figure stuff out. So I think that was a really fantastic time to actually be part of that revolution. And I left CNN to be part of that revolution. And that was quite something. I absolutely loved it. And it's just one of those moments you look back and think, yeah, that was fun.